Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Laufgraben, and I am Chief Content Editor at DNA, and I am here to talk to you all about Speedy Eats and introduce you to the founder and CEO of Speedy Eats, Frederick Speed Bancroft.
Hey guys, thanks for the intro. Speed Bancroft here, founder and CEO of Speedy Eats, or aka Bars Inc. Wanted to thank you for joining us today for our webinar. With most of our webinars, I start off with a quick demonstration of our equipment and explain it so everybody understands what is the technology that we're bringing to the market. So what you see behind me right now is our first generation that we built here in our first generation prototype that we built here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We have a lab over here at the LA Tech Park, and this is it. It's roughly 22 feet by 5.5 feet wide by 8.5 feet high. So let me explain how it works. We have a fridge where we store entrees. We maintain the temperature between 32 degrees and 39 degrees. So we try to do fresh, never frozen. However, we do have a model where we have a freezer for rural areas where you're not going to do as much traffic. We do have a freezer option that has a 30-day shelf life instead of a 5 to 7 day shelf life, which is what our shelf life is for our fridge. The products come out of our fridge. It can either be wings. We can set this unit up as a wings unit, like a Wingstop type retail unit. We can set it up as a pizza, or we can set it up as a barbecue unit. We do 1 compartment and 3 compartment. If you set it up as a barbecue or wings, we do 3 compartment. And we complement the entrees with other items like biscuits, mac and cheese, items like that complement the entree. So the entrees come out of the fridge, freezer. We do have a partnership with Picnic as well. So for our pizza model, we can apply up to 9 custom toppings, which is great because that really allows us for our largest opportunity, which is the pizza industry space. It allows us to customize pizzas, which really gets us into the delivery market, which is a huge market. So the products come out, we either have the topping system there, or we preload the fridge with pre-made pizzas. It comes through our Turbo Chef oven. We have a partnership with Middleby Corp, which is the parent company of Turbo Chef. We use the Turbo Chef oven. We cook it. This is the same oven technology that most brick and mortars use. We cook it at 500 degrees for 2.5 minutes. After that, the container comes out of the oven, and we apply a lid. So the lid then applies and completes the packaging. We have a patent pending on our box design. We have a little 20-cent cheap pizza cutter that we attach to every single lid. It actually, our patent pending is there's a recess here, and you just pop it in. You can also do your cutlery, fork and knife. So there's an option for that as well if you do a barbecue meal or if you do wings. So we're flexible, but if you set it up as a pizza unit, it's a pizza unit. If you set it up as a barbecue unit, it's a barbecue unit, etc. So after that, the completed packaging comes to our compression system. It secures the lid, and then it comes to the part of our technology which nobody else has. Now we filed a patent on the warmer. We do have the other process included, but the real uniqueness of our technology is what the warmer or third stage allows us to do. So after we process the order, it comes into our warmer, which we can store the entree for anywhere between 2 to 3 hours, depending on the entree. So when we can store it, what that allows us to do is manage the inputs, or manage the logistics. So if we're working with DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Waiter, We allow, it's a software integration, so you can place an order on their platforms. The order comes in their gateway, processes while the delivery driver is en route. Everything is prepared, stored in our warmer. The driver pulls up, scans their QR code, and they get their entree. You can only do delivery and takeout at the same time by having a warmer. If you can't manage the logistics for multiple inputs, you can't do what we're doing, which is set up in a parking lot and as a automated restaurant. Now, what you don't see here is we also have built, or are building in our other lab across town, a fridge that goes right here. The fridge has complementary items to our meals. These would be items like 20-ounce cold beverages, bottles. We also do cans as an option. Side items like potato salad and coleslaw, cold sides. If you set it up as a barbecue unit, you're going to want coleslaw or potato salad. They add a lot of value and depth to the menu for the entree. So it allows you to be really flexible, but to still offer the community a full menu, delivery and takeout. So we do have a fridge right here. It's not built yet, but it's a very simple design. It's just an entry system that goes and grabs a beverage and brings it to where you're picking up your entree. So with that being said, we're going to go in and I'm going to show you some things on our whiteboard to help people understand kind of, outside of the engineering stuff that we've done, how's this unit going to look in the build, and what are some of the options we offer. So this is our little lab here in Baton Rouge, very small office. So we have two models for each system. We have a large unit and we have a small unit. This is a hub and spoke type design. Our larger unit has a food service capabilities where you can do some food prep inside the unit. It's 13 foot by 30 foot. And our smaller system, which is 8.5 feet or 102 inches by 30 feet long by 8 feet in height. So the reason why we have those two designs, and we have BBI architects here in Baton Rouge. I believe Brent, our architect, is on the line right now. You might want to say, hey Brent. But the reason why we have these two options is because you want to be able to offer the operators a hub and spoke approach where they can do their food prep inside their larger unit and then put their smaller units around, and that's what they deliver to, where you don't have to walk in, you're loading the system, more similar to like a traditional vending machine. So those are the two units that we have. We also have some additional, like we have a franchise fee. We'll talk about the business model a little bit later. Our route ahead for right now is 8 months. We will have our first 6 to 8 months. We'll have our first unit built and installed here in the Baton Rouge market. And we're going to run it for 3 to 6 months. We're going to optimize it, run it again, and then we're going to go to market. We already have around 540, 550 operator leads. People are wanting to buy the technology already. We haven't taken any pre-orders. However, people have been chomping at the bit trying to get the technology because they know what this will do as an operation. So what we do, our business models, we take pre-orders, we send those, we take the money, we work with a bank who does the financing for us. If the operator is qualified for the financing, we bundle orders, we send that to the manufacturers build in 3 months. They deliver and install. During those 3 months, we also do all the development of the land. So we have parking lot spaces, roughly 50 by 50 plats in a parking lot, and has a drive-through. It's designed so you have 4 to 6 car stacking. You have the building in there. It's sitting on top of a cement foundation. You're on the water line underneath it, the sewer and the electric, and you're off to the races. So that's it. We're gonna go over here and sit down. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention also, we are building a pizza slicing device. Sanjay he's working the camera right now, but we do have a pizza slicing device we're going to be building. It's an option for operators, so we can cut in the box, or the operator can choose just to sell the products with the pizza cutter.
Okay. Well, that's a fantastic demonstration. Thank you very much. So let's see if we could just sit down for a moment. Yep, I see you're back in action over there. If we could down for a moment, and for the sake of our potential investors here, let's walk through a scenario. Let's paint a picture of how this all works.
Sure.
You know, I'm like a hungry college student. It is 11:30 at night. Okay.
Yeah, everything's closed down.
Everything's closed down, but there is a Speedy Eats 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
Go. How does it
So
all work?
you have a choice to make as putting myself in a position of the consumer. So you create an account with us, and you either do profile, you create an account, put your credit card info in. You can use any Speedy Eats on the planet, by the way, after you create one profile, which is great, very convenient for the customer. So you go to your app. If you want to drive up there, everything else is closed down. You want to get your pizza, cold beverage, side items, and dipping sauces. You place an order, you're going to receive an SMS text with a QR code, or it has both, a 5-digit code. So if the QR scanner is down, we also have a keypad where you can type in. So place your order from your house, or while you're it's sitting at maybe in the drive-through, and it immediately goes into our queue. It hits our gateway, our Linux gateway multi-channel, and then it goes into our PLC and places that order, batches the order in the queue. So then the process begins, and the order goes to the warmer. And when you pull up, you scan your QR code, and it retrieves in 15 to 20 seconds the order. So if you're in line, say you're third or fourth in line, you place your order. By the time you get there and you scan, it's already made. That's the benefit of having a warmer, because otherwise you'd have to place an order, and then when you get up there, scan, and then it starts cooking. Well, that's not very efficient. So what we want to do is we want to have, during those peak hours, products moving through the queue so that customers have the most convenient experience possible, meaning they're not going to be sitting around twiddling their fingers in their car, having to play around, listen to important music, all that kind of stuff. They're there to pick up food, and we're there to give it to them. So that's how our system works. However, you can toggle a switch from our app. It'll connect you to one of many third-party delivery platforms that we're working with. You can place an order on their platform. It'll look just like a restaurant. It's open 24/7. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you can place an order. Their system will communicate with our gateway, and it goes in the exact same way that our software communicates with our server on site. So the order will come in. It will begin the process. The orders will begin in the queue, and that occurs when the delivery driver is making their way to the unit. So by the time they get to the unit, that order should be in the warmer. That allows them to quickly move through without ever having to get out of their car. And another benefit of us doing this order from the app, we don't do cash. We have a credit card swiper on the outside. We have a roof, a corrugated roof, so if it's raining, you're protected. But we don't do cash. There's no cash on site, and we don't do that for a number of different reasons. We want to collect the data on the consumers so that the operators can communicate with the customers. If they add an item to the fridge or they delete one, it automatically sends a message. If the customers choose to have that line of communication, it'll automatically tell them when they upload new items or have a new menu item. So it's great for communication, but it also allows the operator
to understand who's using his unit, what's the demographic. We collect all that data for the operator in that dashboard. We also use the dashboard, by the way, to communicate with our Pitney Bowes service technicians. So if the unit goes down, as part of the bundle, the operator has to purchase a bundle of spare components or replacement parts. It's going to be probably around $10,000 on top of their unit cost. They store those locally, but we do that because if the machine goes down, the operator's losing money. They have downtime, and it's a machine. So, we're anticipating that, but you can do all your communication through the dashboard to the technician. The technician will get a report on what is wrong, what part of the system is fouling up. They go get a spare part, they go to the unit, and they reduce the downtime drastically because they have the parts on site.
So let's recap for a moment, because I think you just hit on a lot of really important things. It's easy to just focus on the great convenient locations as being your draw, and it is the fact that you can just deploy just about anywhere. But we're not just talking about that. Things like the warmers integrated into your technology means that you're getting a huge convenience saving for potential consumers.
Yeah, and it's a we're automated. So what we're bringing to the operator is a better experience. There's no turnover. You're paying that employee. So one employee can manage 3 locations. That's what we're going to be exploring when we put our first units out. So that's an assumption. It's a claim I'm making, but we will vet it out during our field test. But what you're allowing the operator to do is make more money per location. And they will have, even after all of our fees, which our fees are roughly 10% of their sales, 10 to 12% of their sales. So if they do $500,000 a year, we're making $50,000 to $60,000 a year. We're in there. We're more of a SaaS model. We do credit card processing, that kind of stuff. But it allows the operator to make more money per location. It also makes that one employee, they're going to be anywhere from $20 to $25 an hour. So they're making $40,000 to $50,000 a year. With that being said, that employee has a comfortable or a way to make a real living with a better quality of life. They're not down there at the $10 an hour, $12 an hour, or $9.50, I think is the minimum wage. They're not down there where you can't. You're being forced to that only pays your bills, right? And you're going month to month, not ever being able to save or do anything else. So it opens up what that allows the operator to do is have lower turnover and happier employees. So the business is more fun to run. But it also allows the operator to have a faster rate of return on their startup cost. So if you're spending around $200,000 to $250,000, depending on what unit you get, you're getting that capital back. If you're doing $500,000 a year, which is 100 orders a day at $15 per ticket transaction, and we'll get to $15 per ticket transaction because we've added the extra items like beverages and side items and dipping sauces. So if you're doing 100 orders a day, 333 days a year, you're seeing $500,000 in gross revenue, but you're netting 20 to 25%. So $100,000 to $125,000 a year, which almost guarantees that you're going to be having a 1 to 2 to potentially 2.5 year return on investment, ROI. If you compared that to a brick and mortar, you're going to spend $450,000 on a pizza franchise. That's the median range. You're probably going to end up spending more, but you spend $450,000 a year, you do $800,000 in sales, you're only netting 5 to 7% of that, which means you have a 7 to 10 year return on your risk, your return on investment. So we're a faster rate of return, lower startup cost, happier employees, lower turnover, great quality. We're convenient. The other thing is, for the engineering that nobody else did, was we cook our products in a box that's compostable. This is a bamboo sugarcane box. It's about 62 cents per container, top and bottom. And our cost of goods is anywhere from 22% to 24% is where we're going to fall at scale. But we cook the products in the base, and that may not sound important, but if you go look at other designs, and there's quite a few automated systems out there, they are making the mistake of touching the equipment with the food, direct contact. That's a mistake. And they're going to figure it out later that because the food particulates are able to fall into the conveyors or touch these components, you're going to have bacteria problems. You're also going to have maintenance issues. So your maintenance should be anywhere from, say, 1.5% to 5% of, and I know that's a big range, so just say 2 to 4% of sales. So if you're doing $500,000 a year, you should be doing 2 to 4% as your maintenance. Well, if you have food particulates getting off in your conveyor and you're moving parts, you're not going to be able to warranty those products. The manufacturers are going to tell you to get lost. I know this from experience, so I'm telling you what they say. You won't be able to warranty the components, so you got a higher rate on your maintenance as a ratio of sales. But your downtime, what you're not figuring in there is that you're going to have more downtime. You may follow my model and do the spare parts and all that, but if you're not cooking in the box and limiting your exposure to fruit particulates getting into the equipment, you're going to have an issue. And so we designed with that in mind. So on top of the warmer and all the other cool stuff that we've kind of, boxed ourselves into a nice little niche and very functional design. We also have a lower maintenance. It will be a lower maintenance than anybody else.
I want to just reaffirm for a moment for some of our attendees, this is really important stuff. Whatever competitors that don't solve the problem that Speedy Eats has already solved, it's going to get yucky in there, guys. And yeah, they're going to have to clean that up. And Speedy Eats already has an answer to that question.
And there's a couple other things. I'm going to do a share screen real quick. I want to talk about some of the other patents that we filed. We do have a fridge model. There are a couple companies out there that sell salads and a simple vending machine. They make a salad or wrap or chicken salad, or sushi, and sushi is probably the last one I'll experiment with because it's raw. But they do cold cut subs, wraps. We have a larger unit where we make the salad, and we have a patent on the inventory management system where when you have the label applied, you attach it with the QR code. And what that tells the system, when you take this unit and you bundle it and transport it out to your unit in the market, and it's just a fridge freezer combo. I'll show it to you here in a second. But when you load this onto the shelf, you scan it and then you put it on the shelf. And why that's important, and it is because if you have your product sitting out here at the end of the shelf and it expires, you're blocking the products behind it. So the customer can't access your true inventory. So what we do is we have a QR code. As soon as you scan it, put it on the shelf, it knows exactly where it is in the unit, and it knows exactly what the product is. It has it on the menu. It's live inventory, but it also knows the most important thing, when it's going to expire. And so it will kick it off and take it to a receptacle, which we have a patent on that technology. So let me show it to you. This is our cook and hold unit. This is what the pizza or wings or barbecue unit is going to look like. It's got a roof over it. We do the roof over the building as well because we create a buffer for no direct sunlight on top of the building. We also have a fridge model, if you can see this. And this is our salads, wraps, chicken salad. You can set it up as a kind of a chick type unit, or you can set it up. I know that this guy Morrison that started Wingstop, he has a salad and go operation. Well, this can do anything that he can do. It's just automated. The salad, this is a hollow wall receptacle, If the product expires, the gantry goes and grabs it, takes it over. You're getting a cold beverage, you can load this thing with kombucha, salad, Coke. We have a deal going with Coke, Coca-Cola. You got your side proteins over here, grilled chicken, your salmon, stuff that you would add to salads. You have your wraps, but you don't want to set it up as everything. This isn't like one for all. If you want to set it up as a chick salad chick, it's type restaurant, right? We're not partnered with them, but Speedy Eats chicken salad, and you have a chicken salad restaurant. The customers never have to get out of the car, and you can do delivery at the same time. You got your dipping sauces. If you set it up as a salad type thing, you can do delivery and 24/7. You can do delivery and takeaway. You pull up to it, place an order just like you do with their cook and hold, and you get your salad side proteins. We also have a feature over here that's for ice cream, and we're talking to a couple different ice cream manufacturers. They're really excited about this model. It's very similar to CVS and Walgreens where they have the ice cream inside, except for us, we just put the thing, where they don't have to go inside. And you can also get it delivered at 3 o'clock in the morning. If you're an owl and you stay up all night, you want to get a salad and some, mint chocolate chip ice cream. That's my favorite. You can order it and, get it delivered. So it's very convenient. This is our other patent. We have if you can't, it does the inventory management.
I mean, I think it looks fantastic. Hey, you know what? Why don't we take a first question? Is that okay?
Sure.
So first question we have here, it's from our friend and hopeful investor, James. Any idea when you will be able to start drone delivery? And do you have any companies in mind that you might think of working with?
Yeah, we have two technologies out there that are mailboxes. They're electric mailboxes. One is Drone Deck, the other one is Valkyrie. There's a bunch of drones out there, and we're talking to maybe 4 or 5 of them. And we do have because we can cook and store stuff in our warmer, we can put a pad on the top and make it to where we drop a box in there, load it, it goes back up, and then we do drone delivery. So we're very interested in that market for the delivery and the speed of delivery, that they can use our system, make great use of our system. There's some things that have to get approved by the FAA. So we're not focusing on that right now. But it does appear that they're making a lot of headway with the FAA, and it may be FAA. I don't know. I think it's FAA, but I know that they're reading about it in different journals. They need to get it approved. But it looks like they're going to be doing medical stuff first, medical deliveries through drones. But we do have the partnerships already set up. We have signed MOUs with both of those firms, and we have a bunch of different drone systems that are wanting to partner with us.
Okay. I mean, I think that's a great answer. We're just limited by the FAA. We're waiting on you guys.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've got it all in mind. It is all ideated. So next question, I'm going to ask this one because it's actually the one that I was going to ask you anyway. So
Okay.
it saves everyone some time. Out of curiosity, has or is the company in the process of already developing relationships with third-party delivery companies such as Waiter, DoorDash, Uber Eats?
Yeah, so one of the original founders, a guy named Chris Moe, was my original investor. So I have a loyalty with a company called Waiter, and they're about to be called ASAP. ASAP. So they're changing their name, but we're already working with their team. The integration is not complex. We're also talking to Grubhub as well. So Grubhub is in our pipeline. But those two, Waiter and Grubhub, they're popular here in Baton Rouge. I don't need to go to the DoorDash and all those other. I can prove my concept for delivery with those two companies. I can do it in flying colors.
And just to all the attendees, once we've done that concept, I mean, it's plug and play, right, guys? You're going to be sliding in those apps. You're going to be making those connections with people.
Yeah, that's right.
Other part of the question was, additionally, has the company considered eventually licensing its technology to QSR establishments such as
Yeah.
Wingstop, Wendy's, et cetera?
Yeah, we've spoken with many brick and mortars, pizza chain operators. We've talked to a couple of different convenience store owner chains, large chains. I mean, I can't mention their names, but each one of them has more than 5,000 locations. We'll put it that way. So they're interested in this because this is off premise. They have food service, prep space, already permitted inside their stores. So this is a great way for them to reach out across town, do the food prep on site, and have a hub and spoke type technology where they can serve mini tacos, taquitos, jalapeno poppers, pizza, all kinds of stuff, late night food. People use those convenience stores late at night. So we're, great opportunity for them. Hotels, we've had a couple of hotels reach out to us. Out of those 540 leads that we have that came in, I would say maybe 10% are pizza chain owners or restaurant owners or these large conglomerates that have convenience stores in them.
So yeah, so actually let's go into that a little bit. Let's talk about, potential partnership opportunities with local brands, with national brands. I mean, where are you moving in that direction?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of opportunity in those large brands. Right now I'm focusing on the mom and pop. Those have been the overwhelming people who've come into our pipeline of leads. So I'm interested in working with them as well as, after we get, maybe 30, 40 units out in the market, running and successful, that's the fridge models and the cook and hold, both of them. I would say that those people are going to start seeing, that we're making a lot of headway. And our growth is financed by the operators. So I do operator financing. And I've already partnered with a couple banks. So when we explode onto the scene, I'm not having to raise copious amounts of capital for the growth. I'm leveraging the operators. And I think that's the way to do it because our cost is not astronomical. We're down there in the $200,000, $300,000 per unit range, which is perfect. It's a sweet spot for financing and quick rate of return. So I'm thinking, once we start with the mom and pops, there's going to be a lot of people that come to our door. I don't know what that's going to ultimately look like. We're still, we think about it, but it's kind of, a little farther out than I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it.
So yeah, so let's move into a question about licensing. I think you mentioned that a little bit ago. Yeah. So we have a question here. Can the concepts we're talking about be licensed geographically? So can we end up having these like different Speedy Eats licensing arrangements in different places?
Yeah. A lot of the people who own the chains, they wanted to do a white label license. They want to do their own products inside of it. That's what's so great about our system. You can put anything in these boxes. I've got a 3 compartment and a 1 compartment. But the system that we do is universal. If you want to white label it, the package is still the same, meaning the revenues to us are still the same. But if you've got your own products, your own commissary or food plant that you own, yeah, absolutely. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to us. We're just the technology part of this, the hardware and the software. The food can be something that if you're wanting to grow your existing brand, this is a great way for you to do that. And it's very scalable.
Actually, I mean, speaking of expansion and being scalable, we have a question here from Richard. I think it's very pertinent. I think a lot of people are very interested in this one. What's the expansion plan for multi-state operations? And what states have you identified that is the best market for these units?
I think right now the Southeast is prime for the pump, but we've had a lot of people in the Northeast and from California reach out to us. It's a good mix. But we're working with a franchise company that's helping us design territories. So we, do have a national capability approach to scale nationwide. And we have partnered with several food service distributors that can service just about any area, Cisco and PFG. So those are our two large partners in food distribution, and they carry just about everything. So we can reach just about any territory. And like I said before, we're in the process of working with a franchise group that helps people like us develop their franchise opportunity.
Yep. I mean, I think anyone can see the possibilities here, right? I mean, everyone's familiar with the concept of food deserts. You have these places that are these null zones.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're going to have Speedy Eats springing up in these places. Like, you're going to be watering those deserts, and you have incredibly low labor costs that are going to make it so that it's hard to compete with you.
Yeah.
So
if we wanted to play the price war, we're in a better position strategically. We're in a better position to lower our price and weigh them out. I'm not saying that's the best strategy.
Sure.
I've played that game. I've had other companies and I've played that game, and it's a vicious game. Nobody makes money. So, but we're in a better position. We have the upper hand once we scale. Now, what's cool about our technology being universal is that if we go into a space where there is a pizza joint as an anchor, so to speak, in a parking lot, they're in the retail, we're out in the parking lot. Say they got pizza, we just flip to a wings unit or a barbecue unit, or maybe even a breakfast model. We're working with a couple plants that make pre-made omelets and sausage biscuits and all kinds of stuff. That's what's great about being universal. And we're not trying to be everything to everybody in the beginning, but we have the opportunity where nobody else did. Everybody else focused their engineering on a specific niche, and their equipment cannot be converted once installed. Ours can. If you want to change your unit, we just change the vinyl wrap, and we send you the icons through the dashboard of your pre-programmed cooking instructions for your menu. It's just that easy. And the plat is only 2,500. It can be set up in 1,600 to 2,500 square foot. So extremely small. These are little micro locations.
So what I'm hearing is, I mean, pizzas are like only the beginning. I mean, modularity is just a huge advantage that you have.
Yeah, that's it. We can adapt a pizza cutter, or you can do the box that comes with we have a patent on the pizza cutter that inserts into the box. What's cool about that is if you do the pizza box with the pizza cutter on it, we're doing a QR code in 5 different colors of these systems. So if you collect all 5, you get your 6. And all you do is you take a picture from your phone on the QR code, collect all 5 different colors, and you get your 6 pizza free. Well, that's just a little bit of customer engagement that we can do. That's like, I don't think anybody else can do because of our software. Everything goes through the app, and you make it a great experience for the customer. The customer service is another thing that my company manages. We hire, we're not hiring yet, but we will be hiring agents for a call center, and we have access. We collect all the data and put it on every single receipt. That's when you made the product, you take a digital camera, it attaches it to the receipt for the customer. When it comes out of the oven, we take a FLIR image and a high resolution image of the pizza before the lid is applied. That goes on the receipt. How long it was stored in the warmer goes on the receipt. How long it was stored in the fridge was stored on the receipt. So when it goes into that customer's hands, if they say, hey, I ordered a meat lovers and I got a cheese only pizza, our call center can pick up that claim and either give the discount because they can see it. They can see if anything went wrong, and they can offer the discount from afar, which is fantastic because that's $250 a month for a customer service agent that if you hired internally, it'd be $35,000-$40,000 a year. So for $250 I think that's $4,000 a year, $3,000 a year. You can't beat that. That's great value.
I mean, it's huge. It just
Yeah.
gives you this massive, massive advantage
Yeah.
over your competitors.
It's the efficiencies. It's really the overhead is a lot lower. And if there is a recession, God forbid, there's a recession that comes, the person with the most efficient business is
Mhm.
going to be the one who lasts the longest.
That is the truth. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
Just want to take a second here and say that we're getting a lot of great questions. And we're going to hit them as best we can. So can we move on to the next one here? We have a great little engineering and logistic question
Sure.
from Jolene. Keep an eye on that bank teller, Jolene. How are you notified of getting low on inventory? And what do you have in place for receiving products for restock? So let's talk a little bit about that process.
So we do keep, so if you do have different units that you buy. You can buy a unit that's 13 foot by 30 foot, and that has the food service, and you can store extra products in there. So you have a reserve inventory. If you don't do it there, you can rent out a space. Most big cities have commissary space. They have dry and cold storage. So you store extra inventory. You don't just buy a day's worth of inventory and keep it on hand. But on your dashboard, we have every single one of our containers has a sensor attached to it. And when you take the product out of that fridge and put it in the queue, it deducts it off of the dashboard's fridge unit. It blacks that shelf off and adds it to the inventory that you need to do for the next day. It creates a pick ticket. And that's important because if you come early in the morning or 10, you're going to load it for that lunch rush, or maybe you're loading it at 5 o'clock before the 5:30 to 9:30, you know exactly what's in there, what you need to reload. And your dashboard will have a pick ticket telling you what you need to reload.
Yep. And I think that Speed's answer here is really illustrative of a greater point, which is when we're talking about automation, you have to think about absolutely everything, every step.
Yeah, it is.
And that's
it's not so cut and dry. We came up with we knew that we could track every step of our system, which is what allowed us to be the customer service. So we wanted to be that. Otherwise, the operators would have to hire a customer service agent. And then you get out of being that super efficient model. So we only knew about that by going out to the Automate trade shows. I went there 2015, 2016, 2017. I think those were the years I went. It may have been 2016, 2017, 2018. I saw all the sensors. I collected all the business cards. I started my correspondence with these folks. So I know what's out there. They can plug into our PLC as an input. I know how it translates information to our dashboard for the operators in live time. We also store all that information down the road. It goes to a cloud server system. So we store that in case there's a claim down the road that you don't want to delete the information. So you have access to all of that, retrieving it.
And that's something that I think the investors should keep an eye on too. Easy to focus on delicious, convenient food.
Yeah.
We are also getting marketing information here.
Yeah.
This is valuable.
That's right.
But okay, so why don't we get to another question here that I see sort of mirrored in a couple questions from Richard and Eric, or Richard and Mark, sorry. Have you given any thought to testing at major events like concerts, street fairs, something that could get local news coverage? And Richard asked a similar thing. Have there been thoughts to place units at strategic points like interstate rest stops?
Yeah, so we 2 weeks ago on Friday, we had the CIO of Aramark came into our office. I cooked him a pizza. And, he was really impressed. And I'm not biased by saying that. I could tell he was really impressed. It was a great pizza, pepperoni pizza, whatever we cooked for him. But I could tell he ate half of the pizza, 12-inch. But he was really impressed. But he likes the system because of our cook and hold feature. If you put this at a facility, an event, you have to be able to serve a lot of people really quickly. If you don't have that warmer where you can start cooking 30 minutes before the event cooks and storing 20 to 30 entrees, so that when they start walking up and scanning their phone as a walk-up, you can do this as a walk-up as well. But they liked it because I can preload because our IP is really centered around the warmer and that third stage. That's what they like, as far as I could tell. Now we did partner with Seats, SEATZ. It's an app. You can go look at it. We partnered with Seats. It's a friend of mine. I've been working with him now for about 2 years. Our software integrates to theirs. So if you want a foot courier, you go put this at the Astros game and you want to be able to serve the people sitting in the stands, or it's an event where people are standing around, they don't want to walk back and forth. You have couriers. Seats integrates into ours the same way that Waiter and Grubhub do, where when a customer places an order, goes into our PLC, sends the courier a QR code. They go walk up to the unit, scan it, they get the beverage, the hot entree, go deliver it to the person in the stand or at the event, and it's all seamless. So that's something that our technology can do that nobody else can do, because we can cook and hold. If you cannot cook and hold in store, you're not going to be able to do this type of, it won't, your kiosk or whatever you want to call it, won't be able to do what we can do.
I think what you said before is really worth expanding on a little bit. You mentioned that gentleman from Aramark loves it. I mean, if Aramark loves it, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, they're the biggest player in that space, I believe.
Yep. So then that leads us on to Justin's question here, which I think is important. We haven't touched on it yet. What focus on quality exists to help differentiate between high quality product and vending machine food?
Yeah. So there is a stigma out there. I can't do anything about that, but we have focused. I hired a PhD. Her name is Dr. Lynn Carson. And I took about 6 months of preparing our own crust, doing our own formulations, using our own enzymes. These are conditioners, softeners, and humectants that help keep the product soft and high quality. They're all approved by the FDA, but we took a lot of time out to get the formulation perfect. And the company that we do the food prep with Dr. Lynn Carson is the same group that works with all these huge brick and mortar companies. And we paid quite a bit of money for it, but we take extra care in loading and when we load it into our fridge, making sure that the shelf is isolated from the air movement. So you're protecting that crust, which is what will stale on you. You're protecting that, keeping it in somewhat of a crisper, like when in your fridge you have a crisper, but also that on top of the not having it to where the air movement occurs. The enzymes that we use to maintain the shelf life of the product, that has helped us get a 5 to 7 day shelf life on our fridge model. Now we have a freezer option as a drop-in when you custom build your unit, and you can have a 30-day shelf life with that. But for the fridge, we believe that's going to be the one that gets the highest volume because the integrity of the product is high, the quality.
I think that's a great answer. I mean, quality is absolutely key. This isn't something you're ignoring or pushing to the side.
Yeah.
You've spent a lot of thought and time and money on this issue.
Yeah.
So, okay, if we can go to a next question here, if we can bounce from a quality question to a marketing question, because I think this one looks great from Jeffrey. Please describe the consumer marketing strategy. Will it be driven by the operators or by Speedy Eats? And independently of that, what is the marketing strategy for to potential franchisees or operators?
So our marketing strategy, what we've used so far, and I'm gonna be hiring a marketing assistant or somebody to come in that it has a lot of experience. But what we've done so far that's worked really well, I spent $5,000 on social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and I had videos that we created that were targeting operators, people that are already in the food service or wanting to get into it. And I had a system worked out where they come into our website, they fill out our operator lead. It comes in right to my spreadsheet. It tells me all their information, their liquidity, number of years of experience, whether or not they have a company right now or not, because that is important to have a business with traction. If you're going to go out for financing with our bank partner, you're going to need a track record, a FICO score. So your liquidity, your net worth, I think liquidity is more important, but numbers of years experience, all of that stuff plays into it. We collect all that data. It comes into our pipeline. We market through social media, through short ads. These are 15 to 25 second ads. And I spent $5,000. I got 500 something operator leads. That's unheard of. You typically, you're not going to have that type of response, but we had a great response. I think mainly because our technology, there's nobody else doing what we're doing. And the way that we've designed our system, people can envision pulling up to this unit as long as this food is good and it's quick, and you can do delivery and takeout at the same time. You got a great technology that can plug into the market and be something that serves the community value.
I mean, I couldn't say it better myself. I mean, I think, I see a lot of opportunities, and sometimes the question when you're doing marketing is, okay, how do I sell people on this? And sometimes the question is just, how do I get people to learn about this? And I think Speedy Eats is clearly the latter category. I mean, they just need to find out that you guys exist, and they're gonna be showing up.
Yeah, I think my dad's skeptical on a lot of stuff. He's 89. He's seen things come and go. But he came into my lab. He's 89. I cooked him a pizza. He was blown away for the first time in my life. This is a year ago when he came into our lab. So we've done 5,000 cycles end to end. We've done a lot of testing, but he was blown away. And I told him what the parameters. He's a finance guy. He went to Tulane, so he understands return on investment. And then I told him what's out there already with brick and mortars. It blew him away. He said, "You're going to make a fortune." The first time I ever heard him say that. But because the quality was there, and because, I can execute, he knows that I execute anything I put my mind to. And once he tasted, he's like, "It's Katie bar the door." That's his expression. Katie bar the door. Once you put these units out and people see what it is, and you've got a fridge model that can do ice cream, and then you've got a cook and hold model that has a fridge, it's lights out. You're going to blow it away. And I believe that.
I think the only question you're going to be faced with is, okay, how fast can I make these units?
Yeah.
Because I think the
I can speak
opportunity
to
sells
that. Yeah,
itself.
the units can be made in 6 to 8 weeks. But
Okay.
yeah, you that's what's great about this. You build everything in the plant. They do partially disassemble for the shipping. Once it's delivered to the space, it's going to take 3 months to do the permitting. So you got your bottom rung, your funnel. Is the thing that takes the most time is the permitting. So you've got roughly 3 to 4 months there. We're going to try to get it to a 3-month lead time. You take the orders, you bundle the orders, you hit the MOQ for the manufacturing. I go to my banker partner, we collect the money. I send that money to the manufacturing minus our franchise fees and other fees. And then we start. So you have a 6 to 8 week lead time. It's probably going to take a month though, a full 3 months. So as soon as you pay the manufacturers, they get started. I go to do the permitting immediately, and we get with our construction management and our team. We have a construction management system that we go and start doing the permitting for all the franchisees, and then we start developing the plats in that space, so that when the units are ready from the manufacturer, they deliver. We have Pitney Bowes, which is an international company. They come in, they do the final inspection. We do the assembly, the final assembly and calibration with Pitney Bowes. After they approve, we turn on the lights and you're off to the races. And that's how it's done. It's a brick and mortar can take 9 months to 2 years. From start to finish. We can do ours in a quarter. So the scalability is a lot faster. It's different.
It's just, it's amazing. There are all these advantages. It's easy to lose sight on that kind of scalability, because it just means that you can just decide you want to do this and just go. You can just go.
Yeah.
So, okay. I see another great question here, actually. This one's getting kind of nuts and bolts. since you're using dough conditioners that all the top 5 major brands use, and your price point is $15 per ticket, is that for 2 pizza or for 1 and add-ons?
No, that's a one in your add-on items. So
Got
we're
it.
selling a 12-inch pizza for a 1 topping at $9.99. Food, our cost for the packaging and the sauce, cheese, toppings, everything is around $2.20 to $2.40. So we're selling it at $9.99 to balance your gross profit, obviously. But if they're not everybody's adding a 1 topping. So you're going to have your median range is probably going to be around $11, $12. Then you're adding in $1.99 for a 20-ounce beverage, and your dipping sauces are $1.25. You're at a $15 per ticket transaction. And that's to put that into perspective. All the other kiosk companies have an $8 to $8.50 per pizza. They don't have beverages and they don't do delivery and takeout. And so they're missing the biggest part of the market. I believe that we'll do mostly from 5:30 to 9:30. This is just my assumptions. Of course, they don't mean anything, but from 5:30 to 9:30, I believe that's when we're going to do all our takeout. You know, people coming off work and they stop by to see it, place an order on their phone real quick, pull in, go to their house. From 9:30 and after, that's when you're probably going to be hitting your delivery stuff because everybody else is shutting down. Your Domino's, Pizza Hut, all those places are shutting down. So you have limited places to order from. That's when our delivery is going to pick up. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay. A great answer. So we've got 4 minutes here. So let's see if we can hustle through one last question because I love this question. It's a day in the life of question from Christopher. What would a 24-hour period look like for the operator? Do you need to load food every morning? Does all the food come already packed, placed on the tray? What sort of cleaning's necessary? Let's get as much as we can.
You do have some cleaning responsibilities for that employee. But keep in mind that we keep that at a minimum because you're not doing any end-of-arm tooling, direct contact with the food. You're cooking in the box. Now you do have an option. You know, we can send a dough balls, frozen dough balls, and that's what you make the products from. We have a partnership with Dough Express where you can buy a dough press that's heated. It'll char the bottom in advance. You put the product in the box, you're ready to go. So you have that option, or you can just, if you do a partnership with Hello Picnic, because we're partnered with Hello Picnic, and you want to do for the community, you say, oh, this is going to be best if we customize toppings. Then you're just loading par-baked crust in the boxes, putting that in the fridge, and then you're loading the cylinders, reloading the cylinders, which shell out the toppings. With that, it's the same thing as the wings. If you set up a wings, you'll be, taking the products. These are par-baked wings. They come in from the manufacturer. You're applying sauce to them, and you're putting them in the box. You're putting a biscuit, your mac and cheese, or your baked beans. So you're doing your food prep like that. So you do have some food prep, you do have some cleaning, but it should be at a minimum because we cook all of our products in that box, which, like I was saying before, limits the way that the food particulates can get out of that container during the process.
Okay. I mean, I think that's a great answer. It covers everything. We are just about at time here. Do you have any last message that you want to give our investors?
We're raising capital, so if you guys can contribute, it sure would be nice because I'm lifting a heavy load here. I need some support. You guys can go to Start Engine, look for Speedy Eats. It may be under Speedy Fresh because we were originally Speedy Fresh. We did trademark Speedy Eats name, but if you can go to the page, invest $250, $500 would really help us out. The bare minimum's $250 and would really help us out. I'd really appreciate it. Do anything for it. But yeah, that's the last message I'd like to leave.
A very courteous way of inviting people to make a whole lot of money. So
Yeah.
thank you very much, Frederick Speed Bancroft. Speedy Eats is going to make food deserts bloom. I am sure of it. And thank you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.